Our top rangatahi
Wow.
go head to head.
What a that flick pass.
Watch every player,
What a try.
every game, live on Māori Active. Winter Tournament 2024 ki Māori Active.
Global warming is incredibly serious. We need to cut emissions, but we need to also absorb carbon out of the atmosphere. Growing trees is the only tool we have in the toolbox for taking carbon out of the atmosphere that we can do at scale. Pinus radiata takes carbon out of the atmosphere at about 5 to 10 times the rate of native planting. And so what New Zealand Carbon Farming are doing is planting the Pinus radiata to absorb the carbon, and then they're transitioning that forest into native forest so that we get the biodiversity benefit.
Sport is about more than just the game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. It's learning when to back yourself or back your buddies. It's actually being excited to get out of bed early on a Saturday. Sport is about more than just the game. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
At Apollo Projects, we create better outcomes because we never make any assumptions. Like at this dairy dryer. The cladding on the building that houses the dairy dryer needed to be replaced. So they called us up. First, we inspected the cladding. The cost implications of shutting the dryer down were huge, particularly from the loss of production, which is much higher than the actual reclad costs. So we came together as a team. We said, why don't we replace the cladding while the dryer is still operational? No one had ever done that before, which meant working with the client on hygiene requirements. We wrapped the dryer in 2 layers to create a hygiene envelope, while the old panels were removed and the new ones installed, all while the dryer continued to work. By thinking outside the square and working as a team, the project was completed with no disruption to production, and it was a world first. Apollo Projects. No assumptions, better outcomes.
Māori Active, streaming live at youtube.com/Whakaata Māori. Subscribe now.
Atahua. Tamariki mai.
Make Māori Plus your mate. Download the app today.
Anei mātou e pāpau nei ruru nei ngā mātenga.
E nui ake ngā hua mō tua. That's us.
Te huaki i ngā kuaha katoa.
Nau mai ki te hōtaka e kia nei ko wai ata.
Patsi. Rawe. Peka. Sino pai. Tai aha.
Ko mōhio koe ki te hanga o te kai kōrero. I runga i te āhua o tana rāka.
Ei. Croc.
Manu kōrero. The makers of rangatira. Mātaki ki te reo me Māori Plus.
Rangatira.
Our top rangatahi
Wow.
go head to head.
What are that flick pass?
Watch every player,
What a try!
every game, live on Māori Active. Winter Tournament 2024 ki Māori Active.
E tino aroha nau ki ngā mahi toi katoa. Ngā mahi auaha. E pōrangi mātai.
Toi tū te rangi, toi tū te whenua, toi tū te reo Māori, toi ata ki te ao.
He te iwi, nau mai, hara mai, ki tēnei pāpāhotanga a whakaata Māori, kei ngā maunga whakahi, kei ngā mātāwaka. Nau mai, hara mai, ki whakatū, atu I Saxton Fields. Me mihi hoki ki ngā maunga, ngā wai, me ngā ahi o tēnei rohe. Ki ngā kai whakahaere, ki ngā kai whakataitai, ki ngā kai tautoko, e mihi ana, e mihi ana, e mihi ana. We're just having a moment silence here for tō tātou kingi tuheitia. An acknowledgement there for the passing of Kingi Tu Heitea. Tō tātou kiingi, pōtatau te whero te tua whitu. Ko tēnei te rā nehu ki tūranga waiwai. I nai tonu nei, ka haere tō tātou kiingi ki taupiri maunga. Ki tāna muinga. Nō reira, kei tō tātou kiingi. Moi mai rā. Moi mai rā. Moi mai rā. O ti rā, ki tau tamāhine, te puhi ara ki ngā waihono i te pōpaki, te mokopuna o te ariki nui, te ātairangi kāhu. Kei tō tātou kuini, anei te iwi Māori, anei tātou e mahi ana i ngā mahi maha. E ai ki ngā kōrero, ngā kupu o tō pāpa. Te pāpa o te kihi, o te kotahitanga. Let's be Māori every day. Look after our awa, our mokopuna. Reira, kei tō tātou kuini. Nei mai, hara mai, ki tō tūranga hoi. Welcome everybody to this big, huge game here between Baradene out of Auckland, who we had the privilege of watching yesterday afternoon, and St Andrew's College from Christchurch. It's been, these two teams have certainly been two of the leaders at the forefront for this year's New Zealand Secondary Schools girls competition, and we are in for a cracker of a game today. Before we get into action, we just want to mention all the people that help make this broadcast possible. Tuatahi ake ki whakaata Māori. Mei kore ko koutou, ka re tēnei pāpāhotanga. E rere me ki. As well as whakaata Māori who are bringing this to Aotearoa free of charge. No matter where you are, you're able to tune in and watch these two prestigious schools go head to head. So we thank whakaata Māori. We also want to thank some of our other sponsors, and we are very grateful for the support of Bailey's Real Estate, New Zealand Carbon Farming, Caltex and Apollo Projects. Also a huge mihi ki te tauira whiri, the Māori Language Commission. Mo a koutou mahi maha ia rā ka whakapau kaha ki te whakapiki i tō tātou reo. Puta noa I te motu. Nō reira, thank you so much to Te Tauira Whiri for welcoming and for helping all of us improve our journey as we solidify te reo Māori in our country. And we've started the game here. We've heard in the introductions, there's a boisterous crowd here in Nelson. Very keen to see their schools come out on top in this, the first semi-final of the day. So we have Baradene, who today are wearing their black uniforms with St Andrews in their pink. And at the beginning of this game, both the teams very respectfully, as well as everyone in attendance here at the grounds, paid tribute with a moment of silence to the Māori King, who today is being laid to rest after being taken up the Waikato River by a fleet of waka. He is then going to be pulled by some of Waikato's strongest men up to the top of Taupiri Maunga, where he will be laid to rest. Nō reira, kia rātou mā, kia Waikato tainui, ki ngā kaimahi, ki ngā tāngata katoa, e mātaki ana, I taua rānehu, o tō tātou kingi, e mihi ana, e mihi ana, e mihi ana. And Kingi Tuheitia Portato was a big advocate for promoting rangatahi, for promoting our youth. And we have a fine example of that with the calibre of play that we're seeing here at this tournament, and also the calibre of individual. And what I mean by that is the manner that these rangatahi are carrying out their competition and their maintaining of dignity, of respect and of sportsmanship I te mura o te ahi, at the heart of the battle. And this battlefield we're referring to is obviously our football field. So very impressive, a big nod to these two schools. Let's have a look now and see the journey so far for St Andrews in this tournament. Day one, bear in mind e te whānau, we are now coming into day 4. So day one they had 2 games. Their first one was a 2-1 win against Long Bay College. That was followed on Monday afternoon by a very closely fought 1-1 draw with New Plymouth Girls High School. Their next game on Tuesday morning, they had a very convincing win against Rototuna High School, 6-0. They then played Wellington Girls College and were victorious 3-0. Yesterday, they came away with a 4-1 win over Sacred Heart Girls College. So as we see there, 4 wins, 1 draw, 16 goals, 4 and 3 against in this tournament to date. So certainly they have earned their place here today in the semi-final against Baradene. Baradene, on the other hand, they have had 5 wins from 5. Their first win was 3-0 against Queen's High School. They then had an 8-1 victory over Palmerston North Boys High School. The next day on Tuesday they had 2 games. The first, a 6-1 win against Hillcrest High School, followed by a close 1-0 victory over Napier Girls High. Yesterday, as we saw yesterday afternoon on our live coverage on Whakaata Māori, they played Waikato Diocesan School for Girls, where they were victorious 5-0. So e te iwi anei ngā tima e rua, ngā tima kaha puta noa te motu. E tākoro ana, e whawhai ana, e whakataitai ana. Ko wai katoa, ko wai kahua. Baradene have made a strong start to this match. We've seen a lot of possession in their attacking half. As we saw yesterday, they were able to accumulate relentless pressure and also a multitude of goal-scoring opportunities. Just a bit about each of these kura. Tuatahiake, ko Baradene, ko Sandy Pusley te Tumwaki, no reira ki a koe, Sandy. Mehe mea kei te mātakitaki mai koe. Kei te mihi. Kei te mihi. Kei te mihi ki a koe. And Sandy is very proud of the young women that they educate and prepare them as they look to make their own way in the world. They pride themselves on an environment where academic success is encouraged, celebrated, and respected by all. Their goal is to educate every girl so that she can maximize her potential. And this is done by having teachers of the highest caliber and top class facilities. We then have John Rouge, who is the head of the senior college at St Andrews. Kei a koe, kei te rangatira. John, tēnā koe. O tira ki tō kura katoa. So St Andrews has a varied age ranges throughout their schooling community, a preschool, a middle school, a preparatory school, and also their senior college. E ai ki a rātou, they view students as unique individuals, fostering social responsibility in a co-ed environment, preparing them for life beyond school. Their comprehensive curriculum nurtures academic, sports, cultural, spiritual, social and recreational growth, shaping well-rounded individuals. They encourage their students to excel, receive quality feedback and recognition, guided by teachers who instill personal responsibility and leadership. Nō reira, ki ngā kura e rua, ki ngā tauira katoa no Baradene, no St Andrews anō hoki. E mihi atu ki a koutou katoa, e mātakitaki mai ana, ki tēnei o ngā kēmu, ki tēnei o ngā whakataitai o Aotearoa. I must confess, some of my family actually went to Baradene. Maddie and Bree Downey. Nō reira mehe mea kei te whakarongo kōrua, tēnā kōrua. As we see a corner kick come in there, just unable to hit the desired target. As a result, we have a goal kick for St Andrews. He rangi pai, he rangi paki, I whakatū I tēnei rā. Slight breeze, ko te pai mahana, ko te tekau ono. Nice conditions for football. E te whānau yesterday it was a bit hotter, so I'm sure these athletes here will be appreciating that gentle breeze and also slightly lower temperature today in day 4 of this tournament for them. There will be obviously one of these teams going through to the final tomorrow. And looking ahead to tomorrow, it looks like going to be another cracking day in Whakatū. 18 degrees with the sun shining. Ngā hihi o tamanui te rā e whiti ana. Back to the action now. Just both teams here feeling each other out, getting a sense of the style of play o ia tima. Getting a sense of potentially where they may be able to use their strengths to create goal scoring opportunities. Ko ngaro pea te pōro, te puikiri. Kei he te pōro anei ko te maka paitaha o Baradene nai nei. O, ke roto rātou. I te rohe whiu. Engari pai hoki te ārai o St Andrews. Ato ana ru. Tēnei wā. E tiwi, we're very lucky to be close enough to the ground where you can actually hear what the players are saying. Ngā kōrero, ngā kupu aki, ngā tohu pea, ngā kanga pea, o ia kai tākaro. That we're able to pick up communication from these athletes, as well as some communication and advice from some of the coaches. Long shot here from Baradene. Well caught there. Lovely ball here. Ooh, great build-up play. Engari e tū hapa. E tiwi, ko te ture. If you're going to look to play a ball forward, there needs to be two players between the ball and the goal. And we just saw on that occasion that the St Andrews College defensive line, te rarangi ārai, stepped up which meant that the attacker was offside. Just to correct myself, Eti, needs to be one player between the ball and the goal, between the offensive player and the goal. Kare kore I mātaki koutou I te VAR. You would have seen the VAR system in play in some of the professional leagues. Puta no I te ao, and you would have seen with technology these days how they can really, it could only be perhaps a millimetre or two in it, yet the ruling will be offside. So e te whānau, we'll just share a few kupu, a few words with you guys. So the first one, as I just mentioned, offside. So we'll just see if we can get this graphic come up on the screen for you guys here at home or wherever you are watching. So offside, ko te kupu Māori, ko te tūhapa. So that is the word that we use for offside, as you see now on the screen, tūhapa. So if you're playing this game and you think someone's offside, you can yell out tūhapa ki te kaiwawao, and perhaps they will listen. And that is the job of our kaiwawao, our referees on either side of the field. They stand in line with the play, and it is their job to decide whether it is indeed a tūhapa or not. Another kupu for us today, as we see in the bright yellow, they are our referees, and we refer to our referees. There are 3 of them on the field today, one who controls the area on the pitch and then one on each side. And the kupu for our referees is kaiwawao. So they are the ones that are responsible, as we see on your screen, they are responsible for officiating the game, ensuring the game is played in a fair manner, and if there are fouls, if there are handballs, if there are, what's the word, Etiwi, tūhapa, offsides, that the kaiwawao will be there and they will be able to ensure that the game is played as according to the rules. Whanaroa or St Andrews. And another kupu for us to learn today is the throw-in, which, as we're seeing now, is when the ball goes out of play and there's a player responsible for throwing the ball back into the field of play. And this one here actually has 2 words, 2 kupu, and they are maka paitaha. So eti iwi, when the ball goes out of play, as it is now, that the kupu, ngā kupu are maka paitaha. Maka means to throw in a short way, paitaha from the side. He maka paitaha. So again, if the ball goes out, what we say, he maka paitaha. Nā nei, ka hato ana rū, St Andrews College, I te taha maui, making a break down that left-hand side. Nei he maka paitaha. Oh, nice little flick there, just trying to find a teammate. Pai tērā pukenga, pai ki au tēnā. Nice little show of skill with a flick around the corner. No look pass, they may say. Lovely through ball here. One-on-one with the goalkeeper, gone around to the left. Ooh, tino tata. Pai tēnā, tino pai. E pai rau atu tēnā. E whanaroa I Wanganui. I te rarangi ārai. Engari. Pai hoki, te kai ārai. Very close opportunity, great chance there. O he whanaroa, he kuru roa tēnā. O te rata mea tuarua o tēnei kēmu, he kuru roa. Motaku he te we just had confirmation that we actually have Baradene in the black. So a change from their uniform yesterday, and St Andrews we have in the pink. Te mawhero o St Andrews with Baradene e moana I ngā kākahu pango, the black uniforms. Nei te pai hau Maui or Baradene. Oh, lovely skills here on show. Tēnā mātua whitu. Te pai hoki. Te kai ārai no Hatoanaru. And te whānau, here's one of our new kupu that we've learnt today, the makapaitaha, the throw-in, which we've already gone through. And they are Baradene. E whanawhanana I Wanganui. Pai te maka, tēnō tata. E rawe, tēnō pai ki te mātaki. Kaunga, kaunga tēnei taumata. Beautiful skills there. Great dribbling through the middle. And great little through ball. And equally, our goalkeeper was up to the task. Sensed the danger and sprung forward to collect the ball. Both teams going toe-to-toe here. Awesome to see. I whakatū te haki o te kaiwawau I te taha. Reira. Ko whakahokia te puikiri, te pōro o tētahi makapaitaha ki a Hatoanaru. E whakamoho nui ho I te iwi. Ko tai kingi tuheitia ki te tihi o taupiri. Ko tai haumaru. Reira, kei a koe te kingi. Oki oki ai. Hoki ki enei, ngā kanohi ora, ngā kai tākoro, ngā kai whakataitai of both of these prestigious schools. Such an evenly contested game so far. Both teams putting it all on the line in an attempt to put themselves, to put their school into the final. The 2024 final, as we just see, a great shot just went wide of the goalpost. St Andrews there with a really good opportunity. Nice build-up play with a nice positive shot at the end. Unfortunately for St Andrews, it was just wide of the goalpost. Fortunately for Baradene, the score remains 0-0. And they te paiho Maui or Baradene. Ooh, lovely play there, lovely build-up play. Te whanahokai I roto I te rohe whiu. Engari, kaha hoki tēnei hunga ārai o Hatu Anaru. Toki rātou ki te taha Maui. Te paiho Maui, or Baradene, very busy today, industrious down this left-hand side. As we're aware, te iwi, last year, Baradene were able to eke ki te taumata, ki te karamata, o tēnei o ngā whakataitai. They were victorious as national champions last year. So the question on a lot of people's lips will be, will they be able to repeat and be back-to-back champions? Will they be able to go into the final tomorrow? Or will it be St Andrews who are able to get the upper hand in this, our first semi-final of our National Secondary Schools Girls Competition 2024. Coming to you live from Whakatū, from Nelson Saxton Fields, through Whakaata Māori. No reira, mehe mea kei te mātaki koe, I te pauaka whakaata, I te ipapa, I te rorohiko, I te waia, I te aha atu rānei. E mihi mahana ki a koutou, te hunga e mātaki mai ana, te hunga e tautoko mai ana, I tēnei o ngā kēmu, o tēnei o ngā whakataitai. We saw a great chance there, great cross from Baradene. Unfortunately, perhaps the ground might be a little bit, what we say, bobbly, a little bit uneven, and the ball just took a bit of a uneven bounce and caught our striker from Baradene, just touched her hand. He rua miriti e toi ana e tiwi. Mau tonu mai, mau tonu mai. As we know, with football around the world, there's a very high percentage of goals scored just before and just after half-time. Will today be similar? Lovely one-touch play here from St Andrews. And a big wind-up. We've seen a few of these long-range efforts. Lovely one-touch into play as they were able to dissect the Baradene midfield and create an opportunity for a strike on goal. We see here St Andrews just seem a little bit more settled at this point in time. Seem comfortable in passing the ball around. Although to date, to this point, to no avail. We still have the scores tied 0-0 in this first semi-final of our National Schools competition. And we have the first half comes to a conclusion. Yeah, I wouldn't like to hazard a bet on who might come out victorious. Such an evenly fought game. Both teams, some lovely skill on show. Both teams, some good opportunities on goal. So go get yourself a quick cup of tea and rejoin us for the second half.
The forest should never have been taken off this steep hill country that's eroding, and it makes absolute sense to afforest those hills. What we're doing here is using the exotics to help that process get established. We're looking at a managed transition process where those pines are progressively thinned as the native understory establishes. We're trying to do several things here. Soak up carbon, establish native forest, and we're trying to improve biodiversity. You're achieving an awful lot with one program of activity.
Okay guys, twice the cell. Go past the cell. Ladies and gentlemen,
this isn't about what we wore back in the day.
We're going to go now. Going once, going twice, no more offers. Sold!
It's about being trusted to get a better result for our clients since 1973.
And go! Just fill up at a participating Caltex, stack your pump discounts, and you could collect more savings on your next visit. Oh, there's another one. Getting quite good at this. Filling and saving. Feels good.
At Apollo Projects, we create better outcomes because we never make any assumptions. Take this for example. This wine turret doesn't look very well designed. So we called the tank manufacturer to check. We asked, why is the turret away from the side of the tank? They said, because it's always been that way. So we had to think. What if the turret was next to the catwalk? Sounds good. So that's what we did. Now the wine turret is better designed, better value, easier to use, and safer. Now I think that deserves a toast. Apollo Projects. No assumptions, better outcomes.
Get the Māori Plus app. Download now on Google Play or the App Store with exclusive viewings and 100% ad-free.
Quite like top tier.
Watch us anywhere, anytime. Make Māori Plus your mate and stream now.
Our top rangatahi
Wow.
go head to head.
What a that flick pass.
Watch every player,
What a try!
every game, live on Māori Active. Winter Tournament 2024 ki Māori Active.
E tino aroha nau ki ngā mahi toi katoa, ngā mahi auaha. E pōrangi mātai.
Toi tū te rangi, toi tū te whenua, toi tū te reo Māori, toi ata ki te ao.
He tiwi no mai hoki mai, ki whakatū atu I Saxton Fields, mo tēnei wāhanga tuarua, mo tēnei ki emu tuatahi. We have Baradene College in the black against St Andrews in the pink. The first half very evenly contested. The score, 0-0. Let's see what the second half has to unfold. He mihi hoki ki ngā kaitautoko o tēnei whakataitai ki whakata Māori, ki Caltex, ki Bailey's Real Estate, New Zealand Carbon Farming, ki Apollo, me te tauta whiri. Me kore ko koutou, kāre tēnei manu, e rere. Thank you so much to all our sponsors. As you see in the top of the screen, Lotto, Apollo Projects. And as you can see, littered around the ground, we have Caltex, Bailey's Real Estate. Here's one, New Zealand Carbon Farming. And obviously Whakata Māori for bringing this to everyone throughout Aotearoa, free of charge. And we can see this generation of talent, this generation of rangatahi competing, putting their best foot forward on behalf of their whānau, on behalf of their kura, and also on their own behalf. Hey Tiwi, it's going to be interesting as this second half unfolds. Just to get a sense of the different approaches from either team. Ka re kore, I te wā whakatā, I kōrero ngā kaiwhakahaere, ngā kaiawhina ki enei o ngā kōtiro. E pāna ki ngā rautaki, e pāna hoki, e pā hoki ana ki ngā whakaro. Me pēhea rātou e toa, me pēhea rātou e puta te ihu I tēnei kēmu. Always interesting to see when the teams come out for the second half and see if there have been any changes made in the formation by the coaches, any changes that have been made in personnel. And as we often refer to, being a little bit like a game of chess, moving the pieces, being patient, building opportunities, and we're in no doubt at all that these teams who are very well coached, very well organised, would have had some strong words of encouragement, some strong words of advice from their respective coaching groups at halftime. It looks to me as the formations have remained the same so far in this game. We will see if that remains for the duration of the kēmu. That's the third opportunity we've seen where it's just been just out of reach for Baradene. And again, lovely play, very brave from our goalkeeper. And that can be another word that we can use, a new kupu, goalkeeper, which what we say in te reo Māori, te kaikati uhanga. So the uhanga refers to the goal, and the kaikati essentially means to stop. So what we're saying, the goalkeeper, as we're coming up on the screen here now, is the Kaikati Uhanga. And very brave play from the Kaikati Uhanga or St Andrews. Anei, he maka paitaha I te taha maui o Hatoanaru. We see a lot of play in the middle, third of the field at the moment. I'm going to hear mā tōturu ki reira. Tēnō mā tōturu. Nō reira, ki ngā kaimātaki. We'll see lots of space for both teams here when we look down what we call the wing channels. And very dense, very populated in the middle sort of section of the field. So as we've seen in the first half and also in a couple of occasions in the second half, both teams, when they are able to, have been very effective in releasing their wide players, their wingers, who then have space to perhaps take on a defender one-on-one and try and get a ball into the box. Lovely show of sportsmanship there. Our player from Baradene inadvertently kicked the ball into our player from St Andrews, and immediately we heard live on the camera, "Sorry, are you okay?" That, e te iwi, is really what it's about. Yes, we're trying to win a game. Yes, we are trying to win a competition. However, as we alluded to earlier in the broadcast, when we are dealing with rangatahi, both of the visions, both of the statements from these two illustrious schools were about shaping the individual. And often the true character of an individual is tested under stress, is tested under pressure in these sorts of environments. And what a great sign that despite all what's going on and all the emotions that will be going through these athletes in terms of the desire to win, perhaps some fatigue that is setting in, being day 4, being that this is now for all these players, game number 6, that despite all the stuff that's going on, the crowd noise and what is at stake, they still have the awareness, still have the humility and the character to recognise that at the end of the day, this is a game. At the end of the day, we are all people. And what a great little moment there, just checking on the opposition, Te Hōriri, from the other team. A lot of these players will be a part of their first 11 for 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 years. So very rare that a player is part of their first 11 for their whole time at secondary school. Sometimes you get the odd player that may spend 4 years, but for most players they get a year, 2 years, possibly 3. So for these players, moments like this are really moments they cherish, moments that they treasure, moments that they will take with them as they continue into adulthood, and memories and lifelong friendships that will last well beyond the years where they don these footballing, playing kits, well beyond the years where they don their school uniforms. And koira te painga o te tākoro, koira hoki te painga o te mahitahi. No reira, me he mea ka mātaki koe, me he mea ka whakarongo koe, me he mea e tamaiti tau, e tamariki au, whakarohia. Me nā kataia, haere ki tētahi tīma e tahi rānei, e tahi momo hā kina kina. Ko tēnei kēmu, te poikiri, te poiwhana, te whutupōro, te football, te soccer. I ngā rāua mua, me ua ka kitea. Te hunga Māori e tākoro ana engari, kei te huri te tai, e nei rā, pai ngā momo hā kina kina katoa ki ngā tawariki Māori. Pērā i te poi tūkohu, te whutupōro rugby, te poi tarawhiti, te poi rewa, te pā whutupōro, te riki, te waka ama, he aha atu, he aha atu, he aha atu. O heo pai te iwi Māori, ki te ao kapahaka, ko tētai atu, huarahi pea ko te krikiti. E nui ngā huarahi. Ko te peihi pōro, tētahi. te puika. E nui engari, ko te mea matua. Pea. Ai, me uru te tamaiti, ki roto i tētahi hāpori. Hā kina kina. E whea ko pai. Te noho tahi. I te taha pē o e tahi tāngata no whenua kē. E tahi tāngata no wāhi kē. Koe rā te painga o ngā hākina kina a tīma nei. As we see St Andrews, lovely skill, lovely play down the right hand side. It's back and forth at Tiwi, back and forth. Very difficult to split the two teams, very difficult to ascertain who might be victorious in this game. Iwe anora, koe rā hoki, te ātāhua o tēnei kēmu. We don't know who is going to be victorious. As we see e Tiwi Nainei, bit of a slip there, that was a whana koko. A corner kick, that might be another kupu we can share, we can show on screen for you. So the corner kick, as we just saw, happens when the ball goes out of play by the defensive team across the goal line. And as we see on screen now, we refer to that as the whana koko. So whana referring to kick, and the koko, which is another word for corner. No reira, when a defensive team kicks the ball out, or a defensive team is the last player to touch the ball before it goes out on their own goal line, the resulting play is what we know as a whana koko. Just a bit of a injury break here. We had a collision, so just having the physio just checking, making sure that the players are okay. Referee just checking, maybe asking a question. And a good chance for both teams with 20 minutes left to take a bit of a breather, to recalibrate, to have a bit of a wānanga, a bit of a discussion about the last 20 minutes. A good chance as well for the coaches to give some information, to potentially offer advice that may have an influence on the outcome of this game. Great news, everyone is okay, everyone is good to go, and we return to action. And here we have the word we just learnt, whana koko, for Baradene. And we think they'll be trying here to look to kick the ball into the box, and hopefully someone from Baradene can get ahead or something on it. But it worked out the other way. St Andrews, and another opportunity. Really impressed, Etiwi, by the defensive structures and organisation by both of these teams. As we can see, it's been very difficult to break both sides down, and we've seen a few long shots as a result from both teams here, as they're really working hard to find ways to penetrate each other's defensives. Ka tahi te tauira pai ko tēnā. Another great example was just saying how strong and comprehensive both teams' defensive units have been, and we saw another great example of that from Baradene. Ka tahi anō ka karanga, tētahi o ngā kai, tautoko ngā kai, mātaki. Me kōkiri, ko tahi I rau, te kaupai hieniti. E hoa, te taia, te taia. Ko te mea matua, ko tahi I rau, pai hieniti. Ioi anō e kaha rongo au ki tērā I ngā papatākaro katoa putanoi te motu. 110%, 110%. E oa, tērā pēr kimihia. Tō tātaitai. Ka matu I te ko tahi rau pai hiriti. As we hear the screams there, shoot, shoot. So that can be another one of our words that we can share today at Te Whānau. So when we reference a shot in football, we say a kuru. So that is what the word we use for shot. So, oh, he tino pai tērā kuru, that was a great shot. And today we have seen some shots from distance, we have seen some shots from closer range, but still, with about 20 minutes to go, we still haven't found the elusive shot, the elusive kuru that gets one team into the lead. Just saw a high press there from St Andrews. Tino kaha ki te whai te pōro. And now we have it swung to the other end with Baradene looking to break down the right hand side. Again, as we've alluded to, very tricky to break down both teams' defences, and also very congested in the middle of the field. I'm sure the coaches will be speaking to their players about playing it a bit wider, away from the congestion. Ka tino whai hua te kai tākaro ki reira. Ko tāku mena ka he tere te whakawhiti I te pōro I tētahi taha ki tērā atu taha. Ka re kore ka whai hua. One of our words of the day, e te iwi, another one that we've seen a few of these today, a throw-in, a maka paitaha. This one to Baradene, as they look to see if they can find a way through the St Andrews defensive line. Māmati ki te kaha o enei kōhine. Day 4, game 6, still running like it's day 1, still trying their best. Just an amazing show of athleticism from all of our kai tākaro, all of our kai whakataitai, our athletes, our students. Lovely skills on show there. And a big cheer goes up for Holly. Lovely turn. Tino tricky, tino pai tēnā, tino tricky. E te iwi, te community e toi ana. Anei ngā tīma e rua, e kōkiri ana e hare tonu ana. Aha koha, pea, te ngenge. Oh, and there we have it, te iwi. Miharo katoa. He kōra, he whanaroa. Weho we hikama. Anei a Baradene. Oh, and there we have it, te iwi. That was from well outside the box. Miharo katoa. Great strike. He into the upper section of the goal of St Andrews. We now have our defending champions from 2023, Baradene 1, St Andrews 0. Well, as we were alluding to earlier, been very difficult for both sides to break down the respective defensive lines, the respective defensive units of either team. And as we said, both teams had resorted to taking shots from longer distance. And as we had just seen from Baradene, a shot from distance right up into the top corner of the goal has put the defending champions ahead. That goal would fit in any top 10 highlights reel in any league around the globe. And to do it in a semi-final, to do it for your school in front of your supporters, your whānau, and your fellow students, it's a special feeling. Engari, he waru ngā miniti e toi ana no reira. Tai hoa. Tai hoa. There's time left in this game. Let's not count our chickens before they've hatched. Let's just see it iwi. Kei te whakaaro tonu ngā kai whakahaere. Hea te ara tika. Hea te ara pai. Ka whakawhiti pea, ka panuni pea e tahi o ngā kai tākoro. Ka panuni pea te rautaki. Just over 6 minutes to go. If it was me, if I was the coach of St Andrews, I would certainly be throwing caution to the wind, knowing that anything but a victory will ultimately result in not making the final. If I was the coach of Baradene, perhaps I would be saying to the players, let's be a little bit more conservative. We don't need to take as many risks. If the result stays as it is, we will go through to the final game tomorrow. I just get the sense, the way this game has gone, it is not yet said and done. I think there is more to come. Just like that, it looks like we are going to see a substitution here, a bit of a change. Just putting perhaps some fresh legs on to try and get that final impetus to see if St Andrews are able to get their long-desired goal. Te toru miniti e toi ana e tiwi. Mai tonu mai kia mai tonu mai. We can hear both sets of supporters really supporting their teams, really trying to give them that last little bit of energy to get them across the line. E tahi wā he ua ake te mātaki I te tākoro. He oi, koenei kai tākoro ki te mura o te ahi. He hara tērā e ai ki te kaiwa wao, he hara. Nāna I ki, koi mai pērā. So we have a free kick here, as we can use another kupu Māori, a whana whiwhiuhanga. So that's the word for free kick, as we just see going through the box there. A whana whiwhiuhanga, which refers to a free kick, which is awarded after there has been a foul. The whana whiwhi, as we see there on the screen, is what we get for a free kick, an indirect free kick. Not long to go now, e tiwi. The clock's winding down. As I'm sure most of you will be aware, after the official 80 minutes is complete, there will be some added injury time, extra time from the referee, and that's the amount of extra time is solely at the discretion of the referee. Once that time has been completed, that will see the culmination of the first semi-final of our 2024 National Secondary Schools competition between Baradene and St Andrews. The winner of this game will compete tomorrow in the final, and the other team will also get a chance to compete tomorrow for the 3rd and 4th place. Anei tiwi, Gōti, I te mahi. I toa Baradene. We can sense the ecstasy, the excitement, the happiness, and at the same time, I'm sure a lot of people watching, a lot of people listening have also been on the other end. So a huge kudos to St Andrews, to all of the kai tākaro, the players, ngā kai mātaki, ngā kai tautoko, as we see scenes here of a very jubilant Baradene team who have booked their place in this year's final. Condolences to St Andrews. However, you have a game to prepare for tomorrow for 3rd and 4th place. To Baradene, again, well done today. All the best for tomorrow's final. We will be here, Tiwi, live tomorrow on Whakaata Māori, streaming so you can tune in and see who will be crowned the champion. No reira, Gōti wā mātou mahi I tēnei rā. Ngā whakaro anō hoki ki tō tātou kiingi. O tira ki te kāhui ariki. Ngā whakaro hoki ki tēnei kuini hou. Ki tō tātou kuini, ngā waihono I te pō. Ire hou pai Māori re. Thank you to everybody that has tuned in today. For all our supporters, our whānau, our parents, our kaiako, our teachers. Thank you to the referees, our cameramen, our ground staff. We will see you back here shortly for our second semi-final. After that, we'll be back here tomorrow, broadcasting live on Whakaata Māori. Tēnā tātou e tīmu.
The forest should never have been taken off this steep hill country that's eroding, and it makes absolute sense to a forest.
Awesome. So we've got about
what we're
15
doing
minutes,
here
is that
using the exotics to help that process
Yep.
get established. We're looking at a managed transition process where those pines are progressively thinned as the native understory establishes.
Awesome. And were those words okay? You sort of, I just clicked off, I could sort of
establish
highlight them.
forest, and we're trying to improve biodiversity. You're achieving an awful lot with one program of activity.
I'm Jason Bill and we farm around the mid-north. We took a review of our business a couple of years ago, sort of identified challenges that we had. One was profitability, and we'd noticed on our steep hill country we're getting more and more erosion. We looked around to diversify, looked at forestry to plant on our steeper country. For us, it really addressed those concerns. By doing the forest farm model, we feel like we're getting the best of both worlds. And I'm really excited and I really do believe in this model. I think it's the way of the future.
Sport is about more than just a game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. It's learning when to back yourself or back your buddies. It's actually being excited to get out of bed early on a Saturday. Sport is about more than just a game. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
Funding is a real challenge. We know that a lot of schools face that ongoing, and the reality is if you go to a lower decile school in New Zealand, you are less likely to be able to afford to participate in sport.
Obviously, having come through it myself with kids and being one of those kids myself who played sport, I know how much it defined who I was. And now being able to go, I can't fix it all, but we can help and try and give to those people who are going through really tough times. It's a real privilege, but you know, for us, we want to see others get involved in this. This is not a selfish thing for Apollo. This is about how can we get, whether it's construction or other businesses, to get involved in this.
There's a lot of things that kids miss out on, and so to have businesses step up and want to be involved and to help is a game changer for schools. It really is.
What's this? Hey, where'd you get those from, yeah?
All you need to do is sign up to Kōrero Online to be in to win, bro.
Check.
Morena, beautiful people.
Look at me, look at her!
Whoa.
Hee-haw, hee-haw!
Bang.
Too much. Sounds ominous.
Keep our kaumatua cool.
Oh, you went all the way to the KKK, eh?
No. Hurry up! Ah! Ah!
Okay. Make Māori Plus your mate. Download the app today.
He tau hou, he kanohi hou. He wairua hākua kua tonu.
Waukana!
Pūkana ki whakaata Māori me Māori Plus. Our top rangatahi go head to head.
What are that flick pass?
Watch every player,
What a try!
every game, live on Māori Active. Winter Tournament 2024 ki Māori Active.
I've got no skeleton, got nothing to hide.
He's a great stirrer.
It's trepidation, anticipation.
She's a game changer. Come celebrate the stories of our Māori heroes. Whakanuia.
Lots of celebrations, so many laughs, going to be amazing.
I'm a bit of a fan. Tough.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing the stories from the St. Joe's days.
Oh, she is the sweetest person and also one of the most scary people I've ever met. Yeah.
Uncle, he's the man.
Biggest fan base is 50-plus-year-old Pākehā women.
That's not true. Bring it on.
Whakanuia. Te whakapahoa kia na ki whakaata Māori me Māori Plus.
E te ti e te tārau rangatira mā. Nau mai, hoki mai. Ki tēnei ke mutuarua. I tēnei rā tua whā. O tēnei whakataitai. O ngā kura. Putanui te motu o Aotearoa. Ngā kōtiro. Ngā kōhine. Oia kura, oia kura. Anei, I raro I te maru. O whakaata Māori. Nau mai, hoki mai, whakarongo mai, are taringa mai. Anei ahau, ka Wirimu Patrick, te waha o whakaata Māori I tēnei o ngā rā. Welcome everybody to the second semi-final between Mount Albert Grammar and Epsom Girls as we just see the teams get ready for a moment of silence for the passing of Kingi Tuheitia. Ai, e tiwi e tangi tonu ana te ngākau. Kātahi anō, tō tātou kingi. Ko Kingi Tuheitia, te pōtatau, te whirowhiro, te tua whitu. I hoki, ki tōna maunga tapu ki a taupiri. No reira, kei te kingi, haere atu rā. Haere atu ki tū o te wharau. Oki ai. Hoki ki a tātou. Me mihi hoki ki te kuini. Te tamāhine o Tuheitia. Ko te puhi ariki. Ngā wai hono I te pōpaki. Koia te mokopuna o te ariki nui. Te ātairangi kāhu. No reira, kei te kuini. Anei tātou. Anei, te iwi Māori. I tō taha, aha ko te aha. We see both teams here just preparing themselves. Often we hear from the senior players in these moments, just giving their last words of encouragement, ngā kupu aki, before they go in to battle. Two of our teams, two very proud schools from Mount Albert Grammar, from Tāmaki Makaurau. We have Mount Albert Grammar versus Auckland Girls Grammar. Auckland obviously have a proud history when it comes to secondary schools football. And this tournament is no different, with 3 of the 4 teams in the semi-finals coming from Tāmaki Makaurau. We have Epsom Girls Grammar in the yellow, and we have Mount Albert donning their white with light blue. If you're just joining us for the second broadcast, welcome. Another beautiful day in Nelson and Saxton Fields. And we're sure to see if it's based on the games we have seen so far in this tournament. High caliber play, great sportsmanship, and a real great product for those watching at home. Lovely build-up play there. Really good opportunity, early opportunity for Mount Albert Grammar. They ended up with 3 of their attackers on the left-hand side of the box, just unable to convert, and a good save from our Epsom Girls Grammar goalkeeper. If I've got my timing right, it looks like schools around Auckland, in particular Mount Albert and Epsom Girls Grammar, would have just finished for the day. No reira, kia koutou. a kai whakarongo ngā kai mātaki no Mount Albert Grammar, no Epsom Girls Grammar, tēnā koutou. Welcome to you all if you are tuning in after just finishing school. No doubt you'll be wanting to see your friends, your mates, your sisters come out victorious and go through to the final tomorrow, which has been confirmed against Baradene after they were victorious 1-0 just a couple of hours ago versus St Andrew's College from Christchurch. Iwi just sharing a little bit of information about these kura. So Epsom Girls Grammar, obviously based, as we said earlier, in Auckland. And they are a school that has a long history, being established in 1917. He mihi hoki ki te tumuaki ki a koe Brenda McNaughton. If you are listening, special acknowledgements to you for your role in leading this great and prestigious school. Their aim is to treat all students as individuals. They want their students to feel like they belong and can feel confident in the school. And they focus on identifying and catering for individual learning and pastoral needs. They promote positive and supportive relationships between students and teachers, which form the strong basis for learning. They're very strong on digital citizenship, and this is the way our world has and is heading. So they use a blended model of books, our more traditional method of delivery, as well as devices to assist in their learning. Reira, kei koutou te hunga o Epsom Girls Grammar, no mai hara mai. And we now look to Mount Albert Grammar, or MAGS as they are commonly referred to throughout Aotearoa. Established in a similar time to Epsom, 1922. Their tumuaki, their headmaster, is Patrick Drum. Reira kei a koe Patrick, tēnā koe. Ko te rā tēnā koutou ki ngā kaiako, ki ngā tauira katoa, ko tēnei kura. They are proud of the way they have consistently achieved excellence in academia, in sporting, and in cultural areas. They offer a high quality of educational opportunity amidst the strong traditions of one of the oldest and best schools in Auckland. In 2000, the school enrolled girls for the first time, and since then the role of girls has grown to be almost equivalent to the boys' role. So they're totaling around about 3,500 students. I'm sure with the quality of their football team here on show today, they'll be proud and happy with the decision they made in 2000 to add girls to their schooling role. They do have sports academies in aquatics, basketball, cricket, football, netball, rowing and rugby. They also have groups for their Māori, Chinese, Cook Island, Indian, Japanese, Korean, Niuean, Samoan and Tongan students. Reira, kei a koutou ngā tauira, ngā kaioko, ngā kaiawhina, ngō ngā kura e rua. Tēnā rā koutou katoa. And the road to the semi-final so far for these two schools. Epsom Girls Grammar are one of the few teams that have come to this stage in the tournament. Actually, perhaps the only team with 5 wins from 5 games. Their first win on Monday morning was against Samuel Marsden from Wellington. They won that game 2-0. Monday afternoon saw them compete against Onehunga High School, one of their rival schools from Auckland, where they came out 2-1 victors. Tuesday morning saw them come out with a close 1-0 win against Napier Girls High School, followed by a 2-1 victory over Queen's High School. Yesterday saw them triumph 3-2 over another one of their Auckland rivals, Westlake Girls High School. As we can see at Te Whānau, all of their games, bar one, have come down to only 1 goal difference. So it could be another tight affair today, but as we said, they are the only team that have won 5 of their 5 games to get to this point. As we see a great shot there from Mount Albert, just coming off the post. Kahuri Inaine kia Mount Albert Grammar. Kia rātou kemi I ngā rā tata nei ko Pahure. Their first game on Monday against Glendowie, they won 4-0, followed by a game on Monday afternoon against Cashmere High School, 5-0 victors, 2 very big and strong victories to start the tournament. Tuesday morning, they came up against the strong Sacred Heart Girls College team, which saw them both come away with the spoils, a 1-1 draw. Tuesday afternoon, they played another one of their schools from Tāmaki Makaurau, Rangitoto College, and they won 4-3. They then played yesterday in their quarter-final against New Plymouth Girls High School, coming out 3-1 victors. So 4 wins and 1 draw has been their road to the semi-final. Ko te pātai nui I nei ko wai ka haere tonu ki te kemu whakamutunga pōpō I te taha o Baradene. Will it be Epsom Girls Grammar, or will Mount Albert Girls Grammar come out on top? He tēnei wā, ka mihi ki ngā kai tautoko katoa. These sorts of events would not be possible without our sponsors. As you see on the screen now, we have Lotto, who are a very long established equipment and football supporting sports brand who support National Secondary Schools tournaments. We also have Apollo Projects, who generously have donated money to support this tournament, as well as other ventures through sport in our community. New Zealand Carbon Farming, and all of these companies, these businesses really are involved in their communities, and without these communities, without these businesses, we would not be able to run these events. Caltex, another one, who have been really strong to tautoko ki ēnei rangatahi. And Bailey's Real Estate. So we really want to thank all our sponsors, which enables Whakaata Māori to bring this live stream to us all, free of charge and accessible no matter where you are located. Mā te huru huru, ka rere te manu. Kei te rere pai tēnei manu, nō reira ki a koutou. Katoa, te hunga tautoko. E mihi ana, e mihi ana, e mihi ana. E mihi hoki ana ki te taurawhiri. Ko te taurawhiri, tērā pau. Tērā māngai. O te reo Māori. Hei tērā te wiki katu, te wiki o te reo Māori. Nō reira, e tino mihi ana ki te taurawhiri and the Language Māori Commission and everything they do to promote, to support te reo Māori and to support our rangatahi as they grow and develop as individuals. No I tutuki ngā kai tākoro, e rua. We could hear, we're very fortunate that we're close to the ground, we can hear all the action, but at the same time that did sound like a very hard collision. Ko te tūmana ko, kei te pai ia, hopefully she is okay. It can be very nerve-wracking for people watching at home to see these things happen. Rest assured, very quickly we've got people coming onto the field. We have what looks like the physio here to check in and see what has happened. As always, we've had players support and get around our injured player here, our injured athlete. And now we'll get the physio to have a look and just check that everything is okay. So as you can see, we have our kaiwawao, our referees here, dressed in their pink uniforms, their pink tops, so everyone can see them. Everyone knows that they're in charge. And if we can, that can be one of our new words for today for a referee, as a kaiwawao, and we'll get a graphic up on the screen here for you guys to see at home, that the referee or the umpires in some sports are called the kaiwawao. And that means they are the ones that make the decisions. They are the ones that ultimately decide if a play is deemed a foul, if a player is deemed offside. And a big mihi to ngā kaiwawao katoa. Thank you to all the referees, to all the umpires in this tournament, but also across our country, because without them, we would not be able to have these tournaments and have these events. Good news, Eti, we have our players back on her feet, and she has been taken to the side, and they may just be seeing if she is able to continue. But from what we saw, the picture that we saw here, it looks like she is going to be okay. We'll see if we can get some word from the sideline and check in. Engari i nai nei, he whana whiwhi ki Mount Albert, who are currently playing with one player down. And very patient here, very comfortable to move the ball from left to right, which we have seen from a lot of our teams here at this tournament, which is a greght sign for football Aotearoa. And we just have a chance here. Great save Still alive. Engari i ai ki te kaiwawao, which is our kupu hou, our referee. The player just went into an offside position. Me tūhapa tēnā. And now we see Epsom girls i te taha maui looking to break down the left-hand side. E te iwi, ka tahi anō ka rongo ki te kōrero, kua hoki te hunga ki tūranga waiwai, i taupiri maunga, i nainei, kei tūranga waiwai, rātou katoa. He te hare tonu te nuhu o tō tātou kingi. Just a bit of kōrero here. Looks like there may be another slight injury. To our Kaikati Uhanga. No Mount Albert Grammar. It looks like everything's okay. As we hear the words of encouragement from the sideline. Obviously, whoever is able to get into the final tomorrow will have a chance to compete against last year's champions, Baradene. And I'm sure with both of these kura from Tāmaki Makaurau, they'll both be wanting to earn the right to compete in the final game of our tournament and have a chance to be crowned the 2024 champions. And we've just had an update here, Tiwi, from the injury earlier. She has recovered. She is sitting with her teammates now on the side on the bench there, but the news is that she is okay. So, yeah, ngā manaki tanga ki aia, ngā whakaaro ki aia, ka piki tōna ora. And best wishes to her as she is on the road to recovery. And we see now a free kick into the box for Mount Albert Grammar. Not quite finding the target. And we see another free kick here. This may be a direct free kick by the looks of things, which means that we can see a shot on goal. A little bit high, second one today, a little bit over the target. Pai ki te whakarungu ki ngā kōrero, I wainganui I ngā kai whakataitai, I ngā kōhine. E me tino awhina tēnā. Ka re kore ke te ngenge rātou, ko whiru, nā te maha o ngā kēmu, nā te tere o te oma, te roho hoki o te oma. Engari, kei konei tonu rātou, e kōkiri ana, e tākoro ana. Ke te tino aro rātou, katoa ki a rātou mahi. As we see here, whana. So that word whana, it originates from the word whana, which is kick, and whana means dribble. So a dribble is not, as you may think, a baby dribbling on a bib. So when we refer to the kupu whana or the word dribble in English, as we see now on our screen, it actually means to run with the ball. So the consecutive whana. So the small little kicks are what has been coined I te reo Pākehā dribble and I te reo Māori ko te whana tērā. So when you see players and they're running at speed with the ball at their feet, we say kei te whana ia. Orite ki te kemu tuatahi I tēnei rā. I Wanganui I te whira. Toko maha ngā kai tākaro. Toko maha rawa ngā kai tākaro. No reira ai, he mātotoro. He ua, ki te whana, ki te kōkiri, ki te maka, I te pōro, I te puikiri, I taua wāhanga o te whira. As we've seen in the earlier game today, very congested in the middle area of the field. A lot more space for our players out wide. Hopefully they'll be able to recognise and find the space for their wingers to show us their skills and potentially create goal scoring opportunities. We see now another opportunity for Mags, Mount Albert Grammar to deliver a ball into the box, the penalty area of Epsom Girls. Great delivery in with the left foot there. Oh, and the ball off the post from a header. Oh, scrambling defence from Epsom. That was incredible. Couple of good opportunities to capitalise there from Mags. And equally up to the task was Epsom Girls Grammar. First, the ball hit the post. Then it was scrambled across to the other side of the goal. And the defender from Epsom Girls Grammar, alert, on task, and aware to the present danger, was able to clear the ball to safety. We see a bit of a stoppage here. Looks like someone's warming up on the sideline, a couple of players getting ready to perhaps enter the game. And we just see a foul there being called, which just a little bit too much physical contact from behind resulted in now a free kick for Epsom Girls. Kei te makatonu ngā kaitākaro. Nice little pass there, just in behind. Very close. As we see, as we refer to, the players are looking to, they have recognised that there is some space in both of the wide channels, the wider areas of the field. And when they are able to distribute the ball into those areas, there is space for their wide players, their wingers, to hopefully connect and be able to deliver balls into the box. So those positions, as we work through a few more words, the position for the winger is pai ho, and if we refer to a left winger, the word for left is mawi, so we say a pai ho mawi, and then for the right winger it's a pai ho mato. But as we see on the screen, so our players that play on the left side, the left wing, we refer to as pai ho mawi. And what we would say if we were referring to them, as an example, we could say, kei te tino tere, tera paiho mawi, which is like saying, man, he's a really, that left wing is a really fast runner. So that's another word we can use, e te whānau, as we look to all grow our vocabulary and our understanding of our reo Māori. What an outstanding shot that was. Outstanding long range, just like we saw in our first game earlier today. A long range effort. But that one looked like it ricocheted off the top left post into the net. Incredible. Incredible strike. That puts Mount Albert 1 ahead of Epsom Girls Grammar. Those sorts of goals don't happen too often, no matter what level people are playing, no matter what league around the world. When you see a strike like that, you've seen something special. No reira, me tino mihi ki tērā kaitākaro, me tērā āhuatanga. Kei te mohi o pai, mātou te hunga mātaki, ko ngā rangatahi tonu ēnei, engari, ngā pukenga, te koe hoki o te hine ngaro, te whakaaro, kei hea, te kai ārai, kei he te kaikati uhanga. Ana, e wāte ana au, ko toku whakaaro ake, an I naia nei, ka kuru, ka kōrā. Amazing to see the awareness, the skill level, to be able to execute such a difficult play in such a high stakes game. This tournament has seen so many moments, he tiwi. Every game there's a moment, or there are moments of skill that really just leave me astounded. Just the level and the growth of this game that we all love. Poi whana, poi kiri, football, and what's happened over the last 10, 15 years, perhaps at the grassroots level, we've seen academies, we've seen a lot of investment has gone into our tamariki and youth football, and now what we are seeing is the players like these players who we are currently watching in this game and also in this tournament. They are the players that have come through the various academies. They are the players that have benefited from learning, from good coaching, from playing regularly, and from a focus, from going from a focus perhaps in the past, New Zealand football teams were perhaps guilty of playing a long ball style. But now we're seeing from all these teams in the tournament the commitment and the dedication, the desire, the willingness to play a football-based style, which means keeping possession. It means a high number of touches. It means that the players need to have a skill level that they can play with their left foot, they can play with their right foot, they can turn both ways. And as we see these players that have gone through and the benefits of these academies, these youth systems, now we're seeing now the product and just the growth and development for New Zealand football as a whole is a really warming thing to see at this level. We've obviously seen the success that the football ferns have had over a number of years, and how cool was it for New Zealand to host the World Cup. And it just gave all our rangatahi ola tamariki he whiako, he mea kitenga, he mea rongo. So they've seen the best on the world stage, which only can elevate the level of our game here in Aotearoa. So very fortunate that this generation coming through now perhaps are the first generation that we can say hand on heart they have gone through from when they first started playing the game in primary school all the way through to now representing their schools at the highest level in Aotearoa at the secondary school national tournament. These are the first group perhaps that are coming through, and the hope is that every group that comes through to follow, they will inherit what has been built on what has been given here and grow and continue to improve as we as a country continue to punch above our weight on the national stage on the international stage. E te iwi, ko tata mutu tēnei o te wāhanga tuatahi o tēnei kēmu. A konei ka whakatā. Nā, whai muri I tēnā hoki mai. Ko kōtahi ana ke te wāhanga e toi ana. And there we have it from the referee. What an action-packed first half. Both teams, if we compare to a boxing fight, throwing a few jabs, just feeling each other out, and then boom, the huge big punch, great goal there. Sees Mount Albert Grammar 1, Epsom Girls Grammar half-time here in this National Secondary School semi-final number 2. We'll be back shortly. Go and get yourself something to drink, a cup of tea perhaps, and we'll see you shortly for the second half.
I'm Trevor Johnson and I'm a sheep and beef farmer from the Forgotten World
Awesome.
Highway. Some of
that
the
was a great
country
goal
we
far out.
bought was quite steep.
Got excited
and
about that one.
We have pushed
Yeah.
those blocks
Yeah.
to pine trees. 1,000 hectares into forest and 7,000 hectares
it
will
is.
stay in grazing.
Yeah, you
to
can
me,
sort of
it's
you can
just
get
the
a sense
best
of the
use
level
of
has been
land.
increased
If
with
you've
these
got
Auckland
land
teams.
that is not so productive, it's a marvellous way of increasing your income.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, all good. See you.
Yeah.
This isn't about long-distance calling, technology, or living overseas.
Do I have one more bid? Thank you.
We're going to go once. We're going twice.
And we are sold to the Kiwi phone bidder from Manchester.
It's about Bailey's finding buyers that others can't.
Funding is a real challenge. We know that a lot of schools face that ongoing, and the reality is if you go to a lower decile school in New Zealand, you are less likely to be able to afford to participate in sport.
Obviously, having come through it myself with kids and being one of those kids myself who played sport, I know how much it defined who I was. And now being able to go, I can't fix it all, but we can help and try and give to those people who are going through really tough times. It's a real privilege, but you know, for us, we want to see others get involved in this. This is not a selfish thing for Apollo. This is about how can we get, whether it's construction or other businesses, to get involved in this.
There's a lot of things that kids miss out on, and so to have businesses step up and want to be involved and to help is a game changer for schools. It really is.
E tino aroha nau ki ngā mahi toi katoa, ngā mahi auaha. He pōrangi mātai.
Toi tū te rangi, toi tū te whenua, toi tū te reo Māori, toi ata ki te ao.
He tiwi kia ora. Tēnei, hoki mai ki tēnei wāhanga tuarua. O tēnei kēmu tuarua o te rānei atu I whakatū, atu I Saxton Fields. I nai nei, we see Mount Albert Grammar with 1 Epsom Girls Grammar 0. Our second semi-final live here on Whakaata Māori. We have about 40 minutes, give or take, to see who will join Baradene in tomorrow's penultimate match of this year's 2024 National Secondary Schools competition. And we just saw there Mount Albert with a huge chance to perhaps go 2-0 ahead. However, our defender from Epsom was up to the task. And I think, Eti iwi, we've seen a couple of injuries in this match. He tohu tēnā pē o te ngenge, te wheru o ngā tinana, o tira o ngā hinengaro o enei kaitākaro. They've had competitive, hard-fought games of football. This, for them, is game number 6. It's been less than 4 days. So no doubt their bodies, their minds will be tired. And sometimes that can contribute to the odd knock, the odd injury. However, we hope, as always, that it is just that, a bit of a knock, perhaps a bit of a bruise, and that, as you can see, she is getting back to her feet and looks like she's going to be able to carry on. E makapaitaha tēnei o Mount Albert. Engari, ko kimi he tētai poro hou, ka are tonu te kēmu. Te timatanga o tēnei wāhanga ko Mount Albert. Te tima ko Timata Pai. Perhaps building from their solid first half, they've come out and really started well in the second half. Engari. He mamai anō pia. I ai ki te kai wawao, tai hoa. Are ki te titiro. Are ki te kōrero. Tērā o ngā kai ārai, te kaikati uhanga. So we just have an injury here to our goalkeeper from Epsom, and as we can see, surrounded by her teammates, and a good chance for us to learn another word, which is for goalkeeper, and what we say is kaikati uhanga. So for those who are familiar with what the uhanga is, that is the goalpost that we see here in the background. That is confirmed as alluded to as the uhanga. And te kaikati, that's essentially meaning the person that closes, the person that protects, the person that shields the goal. The kaikati uhanga is the word that we have here for goalkeeper. And good news, she's back on her feet. our kaikati uhanga no Epsom Girls Grammar, and it's looking like she will be able to continue after a bit of water and a bit of a reprieve. And we're under action again. Nice sportsmanship there. Just the referee offered a drop ball, and that was then given back to Epsom, who at the time of the injury did have possession. Strong tackle there in the middle of the park from Epsom. Just looking to release. Her winger there, Engari, te taia. Nā te kaha o te kaha pe o te whakaaro o te kai ārai no Mount Albert. Engari, tino tata tēnā i titiro. Te kaunuku ara e wāte ana te pai hau maui. Heoi, i whakaro whera hoki te kai ārai no Mount Albert. So as some of our watchers, some of our viewers will be aware, earlier in the season, just last month, in fact, we saw Mount Albert Grammar, who are winning this game 1-0, narrowly beat Baradene 1-0 in the Auckland Secondary Schools competition final. So currently we have Epsom, who are trying to get a goal to get themselves back to level footing and back into this game. We have already Baradene, who have booked their place in tomorrow's final, which will be kicking off at 1 p.m. And we also have Mount Albert Grammar, who currently, as the game stands, will go to play Baradene tomorrow at 1 p.m. if the score remains as it is for the remainder of this match. Therefore, if it does remain the same, we will see in the national tournament this week, tomorrow at 1 p.m, the same final that we saw in the Auckland Schools competition only 3 weeks ago, where Mount Albert and Baradene battled out a very, very close fought game. big kudos to all of our kai whakataitai I tēnei wiki. Amazing to see the commitment, the skill, the willingness to compete, the composure under pressure, and the overall enjoyment of being in a team with your friends, of being in an environment where the best is able to be brought out of each and every individual and each and every team. I'm sure at the end of this week, ka tino nge nei kai tākoro katoa, engari, he hari koa hoki, nā ngā whea ko pai rawa atu I te taha o rātou hoa, I te taha o rātou whānau, I te taha o rātou kura. He hoki ngā mahara tēnei I au, he taiohi ana. Koro te wā, he oi anō. He hoki ngā mahara ki tētahi o ngā whakataitai āmotu nei ki whakatū I te taha o etahi o oku te nohoa. Ki tēnei rā tonu ko rātou etahi o oku te nohoa. He hoki ngā mahara ki te manaaki. Ki te wheako, ki te noho tahi. E a tāhua katoa. Reira ai, ki ngā tamariki e whakarongo mai ana. Mehe mea ka prakatihi, mehe mea ka haratau. A tōna wā, ka tae e koutou katoa, te tai ki tēnei o ngā taumata. Ki te tākoro, I tēnei whakataitai o Aotearoa. Ko tēnei tā tātou kio-kionga, te karamata, te matatihi, te kio, o tēnei whakataitai mō ngā kura tuarua, puta noa I te motu. Reira, mehe ko koe tēnā, he whakarongo mai ana. Ai, whai muri I tēnei kēmu, tikina tō pōro, haere ki waho, haratau ai. I kaha rangona e te iwi. Ngā kai tākoro, ua mua, he tino tautoko, he tino aki ana ki te hunga e tākoro ana I tēnei wā. We've had some great top New Zealand players that have gone through our schooling systems and come out and being able to represent themselves, sometimes on the field, yes, and we have seen obviously football ferns that have come through our collegiate schooling system and they've gone on to play for football ferns and also to find a place in the professional realms of this game. We've also seen a lot of great administrators that have gone through collegiate sport. Coaches, physiotherapists, team managers, nutritionists, referees, ground staff, cameramen, commentators even. There's so many different facets, so many different parts of what we call this game of football. So for some of our kai tākoro, they can go on and they can play at a higher level. Others will find happiness, others will find a vocation a place of belonging in something that is related to football, but it may not be on the field. And others again will never kick a football again in their lives, and they perhaps will never work within that sort of realm. However, I think when all is said and done, they will all remember fondly the times that they've had at tournaments such as these, representing their school, being with their friends. So that really is what our New Zealand secondary schools girls football tournament is about. It's competing, it's being as one. He ai ki kingi tū hei te pototo te whero te tuawhitu, te kotahitanga, bringing people together. Just as this tournament has in Whakatū this week. We've seen schools from all over the motu, all over the country, have come together under one common cause. And we still see these two teams giving everything that they have as we now approach the last 24 minutes of our second semi-final, brought to you live by Whakata Māori. Both these teams still vying for a place in tomorrow's final against Baradene. As we see another stoppage of play here, looks like it could possibly be a cramp. Very common as we delve into the later stages of our tournaments, that these athletes will start to potentially get a cramp. Bit of fatigue will set in. Just natural that our bodies, despite all our preparation, that they do have limits, despite what some may think. But good to see that a cramp is quickly able to be recovered from. Big high kick there from our goalkeeper, our Kai Kati Uhanga. And here's another word that we can now also add to our vocabulary, which is tuki a mahunga, which we refer to in Te Reo Pākehā as a header. So when the ball goes obviously above head height or sometimes even below, what we'll see is the players, our athletes here, they will use their head to head the ball, which is what we would refer to as coming up on your screen now as a tuki a mahunga, which means essentially a connection to the head. So when we see perhaps on a longer goal kick, inevitably what tends to happen is 1, 2, 3 players will then compete for a tuki a mahunga, a header. Well collected there from our Kai Kati Uhanga from Mount Albert Girls Grammar. Very calm, caught the ball well with 2 hands, safe pair of hands. As we see now, Mount Albert Grammar attempting to, and it's been intercepted from Epsom Girls. Anei, ka haere rātou ki te taha matau. And again, it's been turned over to Mount Albert. Still really impressed with the energy on show. Aha ko tēnei te rā tua whā, aha ko tēnei te kēmu tua whā. Kei te haere tonu ngā mahi. Ko te whakaaro enei, ka tutuki pai. Ko te whainga matua. Ka tākaro anō pōpō, katoa. As we see Mount Albert trying to build up some play through our central channel here. Still, Epsom girls very narrow in their defensive unit, which means it's very difficult to play through that middle channel. Obviously, that's a deliberate structure, a deliberate formation for Epsom girls to ensure that if teams are going to have space, it is going to be in the wider areas. Obviously, the wider areas are further away from the goal. No reira, he ua, ki te kora, i taua wāhi. Just another heavy collision there in the middle, which tends to happen when teams are narrow and the game is compact. As we see the Mount Albert there looking to adapt what looks like they've got a 3-5-2, at times a 5-3-2, with their three central midfielders, which enables their wingers to push forward, leaving always one and sometimes the second one up top there. Nei he maka pai taha o taku he, ko tēnei he whanawhiwhi o Epsom Girls Grammar. He whanawhiwhi tēnā, which is another good word for us, a whanawhiwhi, an indirect free kick, which means that they are unable to shoot at goal. So an indirect free kick is what we call a whanawhiwhi, as we see on our screen now. So the word whana is a direct translation to kick, and fifi is a reference to receiving. So it essentially means that we have received a kick. So he whanawhiwhi, an indirect free kick. So what we'll say often is, oh look, there's been a foul, there's been a hara, I nainei, he whanawhiwhi ki te rātu tīma. And now we get a free kick for the other team. Anei te kai tākaro Epsom Girls Grammar, tino triki, he oi, pai hoki, te ārai, te kai ārai, no Mount Albert Grammar. Hoki te pōro ki muri, ka huri. Oh, ka kuru pia, trying to get a shot here. Great defensive, great commitment. Incredible just to see the effort and the commitment to the cause. Could have another injury here. Looks like everything's okay. Back on her feet. Jeez, don't blame her. That was a heavy contact. All of these players, all of our athletes here, very skillful, strong, athletic, able to handle the contact. Te tū mana ko pai e nainei. Kei te hiko ia, aha koa ka ahua. Limp nei ia, e pai hoki ia. Nei ai ki te kaua wao. Anei kei a koutou te pōro, engari ko tērā te tikanga. Whakahokia ki tērā tu tīma. Ti tiro anei. Te kaikati uhanga no Mount Albert Grammar. Oh, he whana nui tēnei, ka aha. Kare rātou te tino pīrangi. Ki te tuki a māhunga nei. Nā te teitei pē o te whana. Nā te mamai hoki o te upoko. Mena ka tutuki a māhunga nei. Engari ki au, e rautaki pai tēnā. Me ka tuki a māhunga ni tērā pōro. Ka mamai, ka are e kore. Nei mai hara mai te Panadol. Hioi, ia hau e tākaro ana, ko au tēnā i tino karo. I ngā whana teitei nei. I huna hau i ngā wā katoa. As we see the ball now being shifted out or attempted to be from Mount Albert Grammar. Both these teams, these sets of players, will know each other so well, playing in the Auckland competition, but also growing up in Auckland together. Tamaki Makoto, they would have played together across different clubs, junior teams, junior representative teams. So some of these players, they'll just know each other so well. I'm sure there'll be friends between these two teams, which even makes it that much more special, and at times can make it just a little bit more competitive, wanting to get one over one of your good mates. As we see a couple of solid tackles there in the middle of the field. Another solid one, he rutu tēnā. So when we refer to the word rutu, it is a reference to tackle. It is what we would say, i te reo Pākehā, we would say tackle. I te reo Māori, we say rutu, as you can see on your screen there. So when we've got two players, as of now, they're just competing for a ball, we call that a rutu. So when we're coaching our kids, when we're speaking to our kids, we can use this word to say, if the other team's got the ball, me haere koe ki te rutu. You should go and tackle and get the ball back. E tiwi, te kaunga miniti e toi ana, I tēnei kēmu. I nai nei, ke te panuni etahi o ngā kaitākoro. Ko te whakaaro o te kaiwhakahaere anei. Te kauminiti e toi ana, haere ki te whira. Here's your chance. Make a difference to the game with 10 minutes left. Some fresh legs. Let's see what Epsom Girls Grammar can do. Taki pai tērā, Tōtika, great skills on show there. Really just took it on herself and said, right, I'm going to have a go here. I'm going to try and get through and try and propel my team into tomorrow's final. We see Epsom Girls Grammar now. Ooh, good opportunity down the right hand side. Not sure if that was a cross or a shot, but just hit the net. Very positive signs there. Great work. E makapai taha no, i tēnei taha o te whira, tata ki a mātou i te hunga e mātakitaki ana. We have Mount Albert with the ball. They are leading 1-0 in our second semi-final. Not long to go now, e te iwi. We have about 6 minutes left. And perhaps potentially some extra time there from our referee, from our Kaiwa Wao. But still, both these teams, you would never know this was their 6th game in 4 days. Just the energy, the enthusiasm, the willingness to keep going, the willingness to do whatever they can to help their team. Into the last 5 minutes now. Engari te ahu nei kua ngaro te pōro. Kei te pai, e makapai taha. I te tahamatou o Epsom Girls Grammar. What we'll see now at te iwi, we'll see Epsom Girls Grammar throwing everything that they have at Mount Albert, and we will see Mount Albert. We will see Mount Albert trying their very best to shield, to stop, to protect their goal and retain this one goal cushion, this one goal buffer, if you can. Here we have last few minutes. We've got an opportunity here. He whanakoko, a corner kick, which is an opportunity perhaps for Epsom Girls to get a goal on the score sheet here. As we see our Kai Tākoro going to the corner for their whanakoko, the corner kick, which perhaps will be one of the last whanakoko or corner kicks, as you see now on your screen, for this game. So again, we refer to the whana being the kick, as we alluded to earlier, and the koko, which is a name for the corner. So we have a whana koko, which results obviously in the defensive team being the last team, the last player to touch the ball before it goes over their own goal line. Just waiting here, looks like it could be a substitution for Epsom Girls, so we'll just wait. Oh well, no, we do have a player that's down here in the foreground, so just getting a little bit of treatment just to make sure that she is okay and she is able to continue, as we see Epsom perhaps conjuring up some sort of plan, some sort of special play that's been developed, that's been hatched at the start of the year on their training field. Perhaps they go to their special play for this special moment and a chance for them to etch their place into this special tournament and to become the one all for this game, and then look to etch their place in tomorrow's final. We hope for our athlete's sake here that she is okay. Just a reminder, the clock will continue to go down, but the referee does keep a tab on her watch. So once the clock reaches the 80-minute mark, there still will be additional time added, because the referee has a track of the time where the game was paused, although the clock kept running. Times such as substitutions, which is when someone comes into the game, and also, as we see now, when a player is injured, the referee will pause the game, however the clock will still keep running. Te mana ko ia, e hara tēnei mama I te mama nui, te mana ko ia, ako nei, ka pai ia. Just taking their time here, as they should, to ensure at all times that safety of our athletes is at the forefront. There's always an eagerness as a player, as an athlete, when perhaps you do have a knock or perhaps you are a bit injured. There is always an eagerness, particularly in a big game like this, where there is a place in tomorrow's final up for grabs, that there'll be a willingness that they'll want to get back into this game. So the right thing to do, take our time, check in, do our necessary checks, which are done by our physiotherapist to ensure that, yes, this player, this athlete, this student, this person is able to return to the game. As we see the referee just coming over just to check, get a bit of a status update here on how things are going. That's good news. On her feet here and being helped off. Bit of a head knock. And we hope that, we wish her all the best for her recovery, and we hope sincerely that that recovery is quick and that the injury is not too bad. Ka hoki ki te whira, ka hoki ki te kēmu. Back to the action now. E te iwi. He whana koko I nainei Epsom Girls Grammar. We're right in the final stage of the game. Let's see what they can conjure up here. As we see the ball come into the box. Very well defended and cleared successfully from Mount Albert Grammar. As a reminder, we do have some additional time to go. How long that is, we don't know, as we see Mount Albert try to cross that in. And again, the goalkeeper, 2 huge saves there from our goalkeeper from Epsom Girls Grammar. And that has been a theme throughout this tournament, that we have seen our goalkeepers, our kaikati uhanga, put their bodies on the line time and time and time again. As we see now, they're still jostling for possession, jostling also for position. As the clock has now, we are in the referee's hands. The time clock is now at the sole discretion of our Kaiwawao Matua I Wanganui I te Papatakoro. To our whānau watching at home, I'm sure, whether you're supporting Epsom or you're supporting Mount Albert, there'll be nerves, such as in these close games. Things can change so quickly. But for one of these proud schools, there'll be a final to potentially win the national championship tomorrow. For the other, there will be a game tomorrow for 3rd and 4th position. No matter what happens for the remainder of this game and also tomorrow, all of these players, both of these teams, can hold their heads high, knowing that they put a great spectacle on for people that are watching, and they've done themselves, their families and their schools very proud. The way they've competed, the way they've shown up for each other, for their friends, and the skill level, the energy, the industry that has been on show today. There's been nothing between these two teams. So they can all be very proud of the effort they've put in and the product that has been put out here to our nation, to Aotearoa. Bit of confusion, kei te rangirua, rātou kei te rangirua hoki ahau. He oi nainei, mō heo pai, ne makapai taha tēnei, mō Epsom Girls Grammar, as they look to try and claw their way back into this game in the final stages. As we see Epsom still willing, still trying, doing everything that they possibly can. Oh, and very close there, very, very close to getting an opportunity. Big long throw coming up here. Right into the rohe few. And they're still both teams just throwing everything they have in these dying stages. These last few seconds perhaps. Ki te mutunga. Kawe mate wheke mate ururoa. Kei te kaha ārai a Mount Albany Nine, the defence is really strong. And the pressure that is being sustained here by Epsom Girls Grammar. And there we have it, e te whānau. Mount Albert Grammar have earned their place in tomorrow's final against Baradene. A replay of the Auckland Secondary Schools final just a few weeks ago. Commiserations to Epsom Girls Grammar. A valiant effort, a great game. Kia koutou katoa. Nā kai mā taki taki. Tēnā koutou, I tā koutou tūhono mai ki tēnei o ngā kēmu, ki tēnei o ngā pāpāhotanga a whakaata Māori I tēnei rā. Te rā whakahira o te iwi Māori, te rā nehu o tō tātou kiingi. Kei te pāpā, moi mai rā. Kei te kuini, nau mai rā. Ki nei kai tākaro, hei te pōnei ka whakatā, ka kai, ka mirimiri pēr, ka tiaki koutou I o koutou tīnana. E te iwi hoki mai a pōpō. We've got our final tomorrow, 1 PM, where we will see Mount Albert and Baradene, which will be brought to you live, free, from Whakaata Māori. So e te iwi, enjoy the remainder of your day, your evening, and we will see you back here tomorrow at 1 PM. Pō Māori.
Our top rangatahi.
Wow.
Go head to head.
What a that flick pass.
Watch every player.
What a try.
Every game live on Māori Active. Winter Tournament 2024 ki Māori Active.
Global warming is incredibly serious. We need to cut emissions, but we need to also absorb carbon out of the atmosphere. Growing trees is the only tool we have in the toolbox for taking carbon out of the atmosphere that we can do at scale. Pinus radiata takes carbon out of the atmosphere at about 5 to 10 times the rate of native planting. And so what New Zealand Carbon Farming are doing is planting the Pinus radiata to absorb the carbon, and then they're transitioning that forest into native forest so that we get the biodiversity benefit.
This isn't an ad about four-wheel drives. It's about knowing the place, as well as the locals.
You found the place. That's a good start. Built by my great-grandfather 20 years ago.
Hey! Sport is about more than just the game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. It's learning when to back yourself or back your buddies. It's actually being excited to get out of bed early on a Saturday. Sport is about more than just the game. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
At Apollo Projects, we create better outcomes because we never make any assumptions. Like this privately owned swimming centre that was still in the planning stages. The owner spent 8 years trying to make the project viable, but the design was continually over budget, a design he was paying for. So he called Apollo to help, because he trusted us to deliver. We got to know the critical success factors of the business. The current building plans had lost sight of what was needed. We took a fresh approach, starting with the most important aspect of the facility, the water bodies. Then balanced the critical success factors of function, form, and cost to bring the designs in on budget. Finally, we could deliver the owner the new facility he needed. At Apollo, we understand your key success factors, put function over form if required, deliver what is needed at the highest quality, have lower operating costs, and always have very happy clients. Like this one, who was pretty stoked. Apollo Projects. No assumptions, better outcomes.
Māori Active, streaming live at youtube.com/Whakaata Māori. Subscribe now. Get the Māori Plus app. Download now on Google Play or the App Store with exclusive viewings and 100% ad-free.
Quite like top tier.
Watch us anywhere, anytime. Make Māori Plus your mate and stream now.
He ahua māma te whakarongo, he māma ki te taringa.
Ai. Ko te whakapiki wairua, te mea nui kia hau nei.
Nui ake ngā hua mō tua. That's us.
Taki kia koe, bro. Te reo Māori anake te reo I whaipu te ai, aku mahi katoa.
Tau.
Bringing the fire every week.
The whole system is man, that's what it is.
Make Māori Plus your mate. Download the app today.
Te hihi oki. Mana kore ana tō re wha. Hei, pauri atu.
E tiro aroha nau ki ngā mahi toi katoa, ngā mahi auaha. He pōrangi mātai.
Toi tū te rangi, toi tū te whenua, toi tū te reo Māori, toi ata ki te ao.
I've got no skeleton, got nothing to hide.
He's a great stirrer.
It's trepidation, anticipation.
She's a game changer. Come celebrate the stories of our Māori heroes. Whakanuia.
Lots of celebrations, so many laughs, going to be amazing.
I'm a bit of a fan.
Tough.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing the stories from the St. Joe's days.
Oh, she is the sweetest person and also one of the most scary people I've ever met. Yeah.
Uncle, he's the man.
The biggest fan base is 50-plus-year-old Pākehā women.
That's not true. Bring it on.
Whakanuia. Te whakapāhoakea na ki whakaata Māori me Māori Plus.